Breaking news tonight about the future of Victor Oladipo. Reports of a big trade involving the former IU and Pacers star.
And more breaking news tonight. President impeached. Members of both parties condemn President Trump for inciting last week's riot at the U.S. Capitol. What comes next after this historic vote?
Also still ahead, more Hoosiers get the go-ahead to get vaccinated against coronavirus. Do you fall into the expanded age group?
I guess I just have to say it's been wild. It's been a blessing, but it's been an interesting journey.
A local mother lost her job during the pandemic, but tonight she's running a successful business. The steps she took to launch it and why she's grateful for her community.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 5. Streaming now.
He must go. He is a clear and present danger to the nation that we all love.
Now at 5, the Speaker of the House makes her case for impeaching the President of the United States. And just moments ago, members of the House followed through, making President Trump the first president in history to be impeached twice. The final vote to impeach, 232 to 197. Good evening, I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starantino. House lawmakers voted to impeach President Donald Trump for, quote, incitement of insurrection at the Capitol. President Trump becomes the first president to be impeached twice. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze is at the Capitol with the latest.
The resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
A historic day in the House chamber, 1 week after it was mobbed by pro-Trump rioters. Lawmakers voting to impeach President Donald Trump for the second time, a first in American history.
He must go. He is a clear and present danger to the nation that we all love.
The House voting on a single article charging President Trump with incitement of insurrection by encouraging his supporters to march on the Capitol. Several Republicans joining the House's more than 200 Democrats to achieve the simple majority needed to impeach.
With a heavy heart and clear resolve, I will vote yes on these articles of impeachment.
But many other GOP members are still standing by the president.
This is a reckless impeachment. This will only bring up the hate and fire more than ever before.
The debate on the House floor taking place in a Capitol building fortified with security and where gunfire rang out 7 days ago. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi touring the perimeter in a starkly different image than at this time last week. More than 6,000 National Guard members are already in Washington, some even sleeping on the Capitol's floors. And defense officials say up to 20,000 Guardsmen could be in the city before Inauguration Day in 1 week. And amid worrying new details, the FBI had warned that extremists were heading into Washington last week determined to wage war. And with the possibility of more threats ahead, President Trump issuing a new statement, read on the House floor by one of his staunchest allies in Congress.
I urge that there must be no violence, no lawbreaking, no vandalism of any kind.
And ABC News has learned the Senate will not come back early to start an impeachment trial, so the earliest it could begin is January 19th. That could pose problems for President-elect Joe Biden's agenda. Remember, he will be inaugurated 1 day later, January 20th. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, the Capitol.
Indiana's representatives voted along party lines. The 7 Republicans voted no, and the 2 Democrats voted yes.
Breaking news just in. Indiana Pacers star Victor Oladipo has just been traded to the Houston Rockets. That's according to a report from ESPN. In return, the Pacers are getting forward Caris LeVert from the Brooklyn Nets. This is a part of a larger trade with the Rockets and Nets, where Houston sent James Harden to Brooklyn. But again, ESPN reports the Pacers have traded Victor Oladipo to the Rockets, and the Pacers are getting Caris LeVert from the Nets.
Hoosiers 70 and older can now sign up to receive their COVID-19 vaccine. This comes after nearly 200,000 Hoosiers have already received their first dose, those being ages 80 and older, as well as healthcare workers and first responders. Just as the state health department expanded vaccination availability today to people 70 and older, nearly 60,000 more people have already made their appointments since this morning. The state health commissioner says Indiana has accounted for nearly every dose we have received in the number of people already been vaccinated or who have already scheduled an appointment. State leaders say their goal is to save the most lives and reduce hospitalizations. Hoosiers 70 and older account for 11.8% of the state population, but 78% of our COVID-19 deaths and 42% of hospitalizations. So they will not be expanding eligibility to people 65 and older or younger people with health conditions as recommended by the federal government.
I think that Hoosiers can see that we are expanding eligibility as a fast pace as we have access to vaccine, and we will continue to do so. And yes, we are reviewing, what makes people at risk, what is their risk for morbidity and mortality, and really, all of the data that we looked at still showed that our vulnerable populations, really based on age, even if they have a low risk of exposure, still had the highest risk of death and hospitalization. So we're really concentrating on these groups now. And we'll just see how much more vaccine will we get in the coming weeks, the coming month, to be able to expand that eligibility to different groups.
The state is requiring at least one vaccination clinic be available in every county. They are adding more sites next week, including mobile vaccination clinics. Indiana is also one of at least 10 states with the second strain of the coronavirus reported from the UK. Dr. Bach says it is much easier to spread, so do not let your guard down.
Once a week, we get a snapshot of how each county is doing with COVID-19 activity. Blue means the least activity. Red means the most. Well, 3 weeks ago, Indiana had just 24 of its counties in red. But the following week, that number had nearly doubled, leaving about half the state still in orange status. Last Wednesday, we climbed to 57 counties. Today, we're seeing things have not gotten better overall. 73 counties are now in the highest status of red. That's about 80% of the state. Randolph County is still in the orange status, but has been flagged for a large amount of cases attributed to group settings.
Today, the state also reported more than 3,600 new positive cases of the virus. They were all recorded yesterday, and 59 more Hoosiers have also died with COVID-19. Those deaths occurred between December 11th and yesterday. The statewide total since March is now 8,790.
COVID is upending another school year, forcing schools to go back and forth between in-class learning and remote learning. Over the next 2 weeks, IPS will phase in-class learning. Next Tuesday, January 19th, students in pre-K through 3rd grade return to in-person learning. Grades 4 through 12 will be virtual. Then the week of January 25th, pre-K through 6th grade will be in person, while grades 7 through 12 will be on a hybrid schedule. 6th graders in middle schools will be on a hybrid schedule. Another school district is delaying its return to in-person learning and hybrid schedules. Wayne Township reports it had a record number of positive cases among its staff last week and a significant number dealing with a quarantine situation. Wayne Township, the home of the Giants, was set to welcome kids back to its schools next Wednesday, January 20th. Students will continue with online learning. A new return date is now set for February 1st.
I have great leadership that really goes by the science, and they care about us like they would their family member. I think it's disheartening to put teachers at risk and students at risk by not following the science.
The decisions we make each and every day not only impact the 16,500 children we have and the 2,500 employees, but our entire community and all of the families that are impacted by the decisions. We are trying to operate and make decisions in the best interest of safety for our students while still trying to maintain a high-quality education.
You saw students behind the superintendent. The high school age students are in vocational programs that require hands-on training at the Area 31 Career Center. They are all required to wear masks and socially distance. Wayne Township's plan to return to class in a hybrid schedule could change if the number of COVID cases remain high. And tonight, the Hamilton Southeastern School Board is scheduled to meet at 7 o'clock and discuss a possible return to in-person learning. Currently, all students K through 12 are doing virtual instruction. As it stands now, students are expected to return to a form of in-person learning next Tuesday, January 19th. In a message released last week, the superintendent said that while cases are not spiking, the impact of holiday gatherings may still drive up the numbers. The Fishers Health Department currently lists the community risk at level 4, with the 7-day positivity rate at just over 14%. Under that rating, virtual instruction is recommended.
Throughout the pandemic here at WRTV, we are continuing to shine a light on small businesses that are open and need support. Tonight, WRTV's Nicole Griffin shows us how a local mother who lost her job due to COVID-19 is now turning cooking dinner for her neighbors into a successful business.
In the same week, just 2 days apart, Angela Garcia and her husband both found themselves out of work due to COVID-19.
We have 4 teenagers, so obviously we we're going to need some income.
Garcia loves cooking authentic Mexican food for her family, so that eventually sparked an idea.
When I made a post offering, chips, salsa, guacamole, tamales, things like that, and I just had no idea that it would take off the way it did.
In March, she started cooking for her neighbors in Noblesville, each one looking to support her family at a time when they needed it most.
I think I went to take a shower and came back, and we probably had 20 orders within a matter of an hour. It was surprising, I think, because I didn't really know a lot of our neighbors. So to see them really rally for you and pull together to want to support you, and then it just so happened that they ended up also loving the food.
Garcia's husband's restaurant job eventually reopened and he returned back to work.
I told him, I said, I'm not gonna recruit anymore. And he said, well, what are you gonna do? And I said, well, I'm gonna buy a cargo trailer and convert it into a food trailer.
And she did just that, creating what's now known as Bien Mexicana food truck.
The first day when I passed the inspection, I think by midnight that night, we were booked 3-4 days a week for the next 2 months solid. It was a lot of neighborhoods.
Now with the colder weather, the food truck events have slowed down. She's now renting the kitchen at American Legion in Noblesville, where she cooks food with her husband, offering curbside and carry-out meals.
I would love to have a brick and mortar. I think right now it's a little scary with, COVID still brewing, what that would look like if we were to have to close. You just don't really know what the future holds right now. So right now, I think we're in a really good position where we're at.
Looking back at 2020, Garcia says it was a rough year for so many.
It has been a wild journey, to say the least.
But she's thankful her community helped her family make it through.
It's just been a tremendous blessing.
Working for you, Nicole Griffin, WRTV.
Right now, Garcia posts her schedule weekly on her Bien Mexicana Facebook page. You can order carry-out or curbside food by calling or texting her from the American Legion in Noblesville. Still ahead on WRTV, a new retailer making a commitment to the town of Speedway and expanding grocery choices, how soon it will be open, and the other new businesses it is set to join.
And the perils of online job interviews. One man almost shared his personal info with a scammer posing as a legit company. What you need to know so it doesn't happen to you. You're watching WRTV News at 5.
Temperatures, they're mild in central Indiana now, but cold enough for snow showers to end the week. The timing of it all coming up.
Your galleries, live life comfortably.
Another business commits to a new development in the town of Speedway. The town of Speedway announced today plans to build a new Aldi grocery store in the Founders Square development. This is a 25-acre area on the western edge of Speedway at I-465 in Crawfordsville and High School Roads. Aldi joins previously announced commitments at the site from Hampton Inn for a hotel and conference center and crew car wash. Construction on the new Aldi is set to start this month with an opening targeted for this summer. Hiring Hoosiers is our commitment to keeping you informed of job opportunities, and tomorrow Chipotle Mexican Grill is holding a national hiring event. Their goal is to hire 15,000 new employees nationwide. All Chipotle restaurants will be conducting open interviews from 8 to 10 a.m. and 2 to 5 p.m. You're asked to register online first to reserve an interview time. A link to do that can be found at People of Chipotle on Instagram. Interviews will follow COVID protocols, including social distancing and masks.
It's a whole new world for job hunters this year since so many employers are not doing in-person interviews. That makes it more convenient, but also opens up the door for scammers to pose as employers. Consumer reporter John Matarese has one man's story, so you don't waste your money.
If you're looking for a new job during this pandemic, you may have to do your interview remotely by Zoom. Unfortunately, this new way of hiring has led to a new surge in job scams. Jordan Dixon was recently laid off from his job as a graphic designer due to the pandemic. So he jumped onto LinkedIn and quickly found a graphics job listing at a company called Miller Paints.
It was for a multimedia designer opportunity.
He applied and was immediately contacted by their recruiter. What did the recruiter ask you?
So they actually sent me a questionnaire. So it was a 21-question Word document.
Next day, they told him the position was his if he just sent some personal information.
With, all my banking information and social security and all of that.
But then he noticed the recruiter's email was at Myler Paint, not Miller Paint. So he called and learned the company had no such job opening.
And then when I called, the lady actually had no idea that this posting was even out there.
The Better Business Bureau says job scams like this are soaring this pandemic year because so many companies have no one in their offices and are doing all their interviewing and hiring online. Sarah Kemmerer of the BBB says confirm any opening with the company before giving out personal information.
When you're looking for a job using those professional websites like LinkedIn, Indeed, or even Monster, go to the company's official career page on their website and see if you match the job description on there to the one that you found on that employment website.
Jordan's hunch was right. We called the real Miller Paints, which confirmed the LinkedIn job was fraudulent. LinkedIn says it removes bogus job listings as soon as it finds them, but they continue to pop up. So be careful and don't waste your money. I'm John Matteries, WRTV.
Now to your Storm Team 6 forecast. Kevin Gregory joins us now. And Kevin, we still got some sunshine today. That was very welcomed.
It helped. Look at this, up to 48 degrees this afternoon. Compare that to the cool temperatures that we had recently. That's why we love Indiana weather, right? Temperatures in the 40s can feel like the new 60. Okay, we've established our move from the 20s into the upper 40s during the day today. Let's talk about what we have right now. Kokomo's at 41. Temperature in Indy at 45. The veil of clouds has been pulled over central Indiana, a sign of the change that's underway. It will be gradual because southwest winds will continue 10 to 20 tonight and be gusty tomorrow, so mild for the next 24 hours. We'll feel the big temperature change as we get to Friday. I've circled areas in the Dakotas, Montana, southern portions of Canada. That's where the next weather system and the shot of cold air will come from. It will drop to the southeast over the next 36 to 48 hours. Temperatures slow to change this evening because of the cloud cover that we have. The wind also helping, southwest at 15 miles per hour. And again, the winds will gust over 20 during the day tomorrow. Temperatures tomorrow afternoon, 44. The clouds will be in place through the day. What changes will be our rain opportunities as we get later in the day into tomorrow evening. And you can see how the spike comes in the evening hours, say between 5 and about 9 o'clock, when the most likely time we'll see the rain showers across central Indiana. Let's pick up the timeline in the afternoon, take this to the evening hours. There we are at 7 o'clock from Peru down to Kokomo, Tipton, right through Indy, and then continuing south along I-65 towards Seymour. There's your ribbon of rain as it moves to the east. We'll likely see a large break in the precip, maybe a couple flurries overnight, and then during the day Friday in the afternoon, snow showers develop. They may have a little kick to them, providing lower visibility and a quick cover of snow in spots, but I think they will be patchy, won't be everything, everyone won't see these snow showers. Winds out of the southwest, anywhere from 15 to 20 miles per hour. There are your temperatures, cooler temperatures to end the work week. As you go to the weekend, we're still holding on to the chance for snow showers Saturday, but they're more likely on Sunday. Enjoy temperatures in the 40s one more day tomorrow, 44 with the evening showers likely. Snow showers around, temperatures in the 30s on Friday. Temperatures really through early next week remain in the low to mid 30s. After Friday's snow showers, the next best chance for snow showers comes on a Sunday at 33 degrees. A lot of numbers here. And Mark, I know people are hoping for some winning numbers that you're going to talk about.
Oh, I've got numbers for you right now, Kevin. Major, and we're talking serious money is on the line tonight and again Friday night in the 2 nationwide lottery games. First off, $550 million is the top prize in tonight's Powerball drawing. And as hard as it seems with so many people playing, no one won last night's Mega Millions jackpot. That makes Friday's prize $750 million, the 5th largest jackpot in U.S. history. Good luck if you choose to play. Big money there. Next here on the news at 5, they had a game to play, but 2 opposing teams came together before their matchup for a very special reason. It's a heartwarming story from Johnson County, and we'll have it for you coming up. You're watching WRTV.
Only at Ashley Home Store.
Let's travel down to Johnson County to the boys basketball game last night between Center Grove and Whiteland, where there was a touching display of unity for a special community member. Here you can see a picture of both teams together standing in support of Center Grove PA announcer Jason Mueller. The voice of CG, an elementary school teacher, is in the hospital right now in the fight of his life due to complications from ulcerative colitis. The players wore special shirts, and the entire community has been posting messages and pictures urging him to be #JasonStrong so he can get back to the school community that loves him so much. Jason, we here at WRTV are rooting for you too. And coming up next on the news at 5:30, opening during the pandemic, not one but two businesses taking a chance. Saying this is the right time.